Welcome. We're going to do a yin yoga practice today. We start out with just some breathing to get ourselves situated onto the mat. Just breathe in and out. In and out. Just a nice calm breath to come to the mat. And on the next inhale, we're going to move into child's pose. Go ahead and get your bolster or whatever items you might need for support. And then just go ahead and sink down into position. And just get comfy here. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Just continue with your breath. Now, remember, the idea of yin is to find that tension point between discomfort and relaxation. We don't want to be fully relaxed, but we don't want to be in discomfort either. We just want a nice tension point. Make small adjustments as your muscles ease into it to continue that tension. And continue to breathe nice deep belly breaths. Adjust as necessary, maybe getting that chest closer to the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to transition into frog pose. So you're probably going to want to bring that bolster underneath you. Bring those legs out so that you're in a 90-degree angle. And just sink into that, finding a place of tension, but not discomfort. and just breathe. Maybe make small adjustments, opening up those hips a little bit more. And when you're ready, transition out of frog pose and bring yourself into tabletop. Now you're going to want to put your bolster out of the way. And then on an inhale, go ahead and reach the right arm up, stretching towards the sky. Maybe your eyes follow. And just breathe here. And then we're going to come down and thread the needle, bringing that arm down and underneath. Bring your shoulder to the floor if that reaches for you. And then just settle in. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Remember, this is your practice, so use whichever supports you might need. And don't force a pose that does not work for you. Just breathe into the belly. And fully exhale. If it's right for you, maybe you take that left arm and bring it around your back, grasping your right thigh, opening up the heart center. Remember, we don't want to be in discomfort. We just want to sink into that tension point. If it's not there, go ahead and bring that left hand back down to the floor and then bring yourself back up, raising that right arm back up to the sky and breathe. And bring it down back to tabletop. Now we're going to bring that left arm up to the sky. Maybe the hands follow, or maybe the eyes follow. Breathe. And then thread the needle. Find your position. Use supports if needed. Find your breath deep into the belly, fully exhaling. Notice how this might feel different from the other side. If it's right for you, feel free to wrap that right arm around the back, grabbing the left thigh, opening up the heart center. If it's not there, bring that right hand back down to the ground. Bring yourself back up. Left arm up to the sky and breathe. And just note how that might feel different from when you first went up. And come back to tabletop. And then we're going to ease back down into frog pose. So set yourself up as needed and sink those hips down. When you're ready, bring yourself out of frog pose, and we're going to come into butterfly. Maybe you choose to have blocks under your knees to help support. Try and make that spine nice and tall. And just sink into it. And breathe nice deeply into the belly. Full exhale. And we're going to stay here for a few minutes. If you choose, you may want to do a folding butterfly and come on down. Remember to breathe nice and deep into the belly. And exhale fully. And if you're in a forward fold, come on up. We're going to transition into a reclining butterfly. You may want to use the floor. You may want to use a bolster. Maybe you roll up a blanket and put it behind you for support. Whatever support you need. This is your practice. And go ahead and relax. Finding that point where you have a little bit of tension. Make those little tweaks as necessary. And continue that steady breath. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our knees together, feet flat on the floor. And then we're going to extend that left leg out straight and bring our right knee towards our chest. And if it's right for you, you're going to slowly move it out to the side, bringing it closer to your armpit than your chest. All right, if that knee is out to the side, bring it back into center. And we're going to release it, extend that leg out, and then bring the left knee into the chest. If it's right for you, slowly bring that knee out towards the shoulder rather than the chest. Mentally bringing that knee towards the armpit. Notice how this hip might feel different than your right hip when you had that knee pulled out to that side. And just continue to breathe. All right, bring that knee back to center if it's out to the side. Extend that leg out. Now we're going to set up for fish pose. So the idea is to get your shoulders to the ground, but we want an arch in the back. So depending on how much your back can tolerate that, choose accordingly. Maybe use a rolled up towel, maybe use your bolster, maybe some blocks, whatever's appropriate for you. And then go ahead and get yourself into position and just relax. And then when you're ready, we're going to transition into final resting pose. So make yourself comfortable for that. Maybe you choose to use a blanket for warmth while you're resting. Palms up. And then just relax and sink down into it. Notice those points of contact with the ground beneath you. Focus on your breath in and out. Keep your attention to your breath and just sink into the floor. If you find your mind wandering, just notice it and return to the breath. If you wish to stay in resting pose, continue on. If you wish to come out of resting pose, bring awareness to your toes, maybe wiggling them a little bit, to the fingers. Maybe do some wrist rotations, some ankle rotations, waking up the body. Maybe the opposite way. Bring those knees up to the sky, feet flat on the floor. Roll over to your right side and just rest there for a moment. When you're ready, push yourself up to seated pose, keeping those eyes closed for the time being. Take a nice deep breath and let it out. One more breath in. Hold it and let it out. Breath in. Hold it and let it out. Slowly bring those eyes awake. Gratitude for sharing practice.